Hey football fans, it's another Top 10 Tuesday, and today we're counting down the top 10 running backs of 2023. As always, we'll be using the FGV, or the Football Guy Valuation, as a means of measure. So if you're interested in finding out how the FGV is calculated, check out the description below. And now, on with the countdown. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Detroit Lion David Montgomery. Newly acquired running back David Montgomery came to the Lions after spending 4 years with the Bears. Montgomery started all 14 games that he played in for the Lions in 2023, and he rushed for over 1,000 yards, and he had 14 rushing touchdowns, averaging 4.6 yards per attempt. He was more of a grinded-out back, but did add another 117 yards receiving without scoring a receiving touchdown. Montgomery comes in at number 10 with an FGV of 165.66. Next at number 9 is Buccaneer Rashad White. Second-year back Rashad White started all 17 games for the Buccaneers this year, and he rushed for 990 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also caught 64 passes for 549 yards and scored 3 receiving touchdowns. White comes in at number 9 with an FGV of 173.44. Number 8 on our list is high-flying New York Jet Bryce Hall. Hall, in his second year and coming off a season-ending knee injury, started 16 of 17 games for the Jets this season. He rushed for nearly 1,000 yards with 994, averaged 4.5 yards per carry, and scored 5 rushing touchdowns. He also established himself in the passing game, catching 76 passes for 591 yards and scoring 4 receiving touchdowns. Hall comes in at number 8 with an FGV of 175.53. Coming in at number 7, big bulldozing Derrick Henry. Henry has been in the league for 8 years and has been a premier back for the last 5 or 6 years. He topped 1,000 yards for the 5th time in his career, tallying 1,167 yards while averaging 4.2 yards per carry and scoring 12 rushing touchdowns. He added another 214 yards on 28 catches in the receiving game. Henry comes in at number 7 with an FGV of 182.06. Next at number 6 is Cincinnati Bengal Joe Mixon. Mixon is a 7-year vet and started all 17 games for the Bengals this season. He added his 4th 1,000-yard rushing season to his resume, grinding out 1,034 yards, averaging 4.0 yards per carry, and scoring 9 rushing touchdowns. The versatile Mixon also played a part in the Bengals' air attack, catching 52 passes for 376 yards and scoring 3 receiving touchdowns. Mixon comes in at number 6 with an FGV of 183.55. At number 5 and straight out of LA is Kyren Williams. Second-year player Kyren Williams started off slow and then burst onto the scene in a game against Arizona, piling up 158 yards, which would be his season high. Williams finished the season with 1,144 yards, 12 rushing touchdowns, and a 5.0 yards per carry average. He pulled in 32 passes, adding 206 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Williams comes in at number 5 with an FGV of 188.69. Coming in at number 4 is our third big cat on the list, Travis Etienne. Etienne, another second-year player, has piled up 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He ran for 1,008 yards in 2023, scored 11 rushing touchdowns, and averaged 3.8 yards per carry. He played a big role in the receiving game as well, catching 58 passes for 476 yards and scoring 1 receiving touchdown. Etienne comes in at number 4 with an FGV of 189.73. Okay, next at number 3 is another piece of the Baltimore ground attack, Gus Edwards. Edwards has been in the league for 5 seasons and has been steady each year. He posted 810 rushing yards in 2023 for an average of 4.1 yards per carry and a hefty 13 rushing touchdowns, third most on our top 10 list. He added another 180 receiving yards on 12 catches. Edwards comes in at number 3 with an FGV of 195.00. Number 2 on our list is the dynamic Dolphin, Raheem Mostert. Mostert has been in the league for 9 years and finally cracked the 1,000-yard mark for the first time with 1,012 yards. He also rushed for a league-leading 18 rushing touchdowns while averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He also caught 25 passes for 175 yards and scored 3 receiving touchdowns. Mostert comes in at number 2 with an FGV of 212.75. And the number 1 running back of 2023 is Christian McCaffrey. The Niners struck gold last year when they brought in the enigmatic McCaffrey. He led the league in rushing yards in 2023 with 1,459 yards, scored 14 rushing touchdowns, and averaged 5.4 yards per carry. He was also instrumental in the passing game, catching 67 passes for 564 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. McCaffrey tops our list at number 1 with an FGV of 278.14. Okay, that's my top 10 running backs of 2023. Now, it should be noted that I left Deebo Samuel off this list only to be included with the receivers because he only had 37 rushing attempts. So I went through and I put a minimum number of attempts at 151 to be included on this list because 151 is the average number of rushing attempts for the top 75 running backs by attempts. So what do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Who's on your top 10 list for 2023? Now don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with a friend. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.